Etymology and historical origin of the baby name Jack. The name Jack started out as a pet form for the name John, which in Middle English was spelled Jahan and was morphed into the nickname Jankin, which would later become Jack. John is derived from the Hebrew name Johaha, meaning God is gracious. In Scotland, they used the pet form Jock. Jack also has a history of being used as a nickname for James, as well, although not as common. Jack has become a well-established first name in its own right, having been bestowed for at least a couple of centuries. The name is wildly popular in the UK. Based on 2009 data, Jack was the #1 name for boys in Scotland and Ireland, and ranked #2 in England, Wales, and Australia. That's some serious popularity. In the meantime, over in North America, Jack is a top 20 name in Canada and a top 50 name in the United States. Personality of the boy named Jack. The number 7 personality is deeply mystical and highly in tune with their spirituality. They operate on a different wavelength than the average Joe. Spending time alone comes easily to 7s, as it gives them time to contemplate philosophical, religious, and spiritual ideas in an effort to find real truth. 7s are wise, but often exude mystery as if they are tapped into something the rest of us don't understand. They love the outdoors and are fed by nature. 7s are constantly seeking to understand human nature, our place in the universe, and the mystery of life in general. This makes them quite artistic and poetic, but they are also keen observers with high intellect, so they are equally scientific-minded. 7s are charitable and care deeply about the human condition. Popularity of the boy named Jack. Jack has been used as a given name in the United States at least since the government began tracking naming patterns in 1890. At the turn of the 20th century, the name was a top 50 choice. In the 1920s, Jack enjoyed being a top 20 preference. By the mid-1960s, Jack's popularity diminished a little as it dropped off the top 100 list. Not to worry. It jumps back onto the list in 1996, and so far in this century, Jack is squarely on the top 50 list of most favored boys' names. Given the name's long history on the American popularity charts, we'd call it a modern classic. It has a snappy one-syllable sound that's strong and manly. It's cute for a little boy, but ages nicely into adulthood. It's the quintessential male name, no sissies allowed, please. It should also be noted that Jack finally stepped aside for the now more popular Jackson on the US popularity charts, which just surpassed Jack in usage in 2006. Quick facts on Jack. Gender, boy. Origin, English. Number of syllables, 1. Ranking popularity, 40. Pronunciation, Jack. Simple meaning, God is gracious. Characteristics of Jack. Eccentric, mystical, solitary, wise, intuitive, philosophical, imaginative. Cultural references to the baby name, Jack. Literary characters of the baby name Jack. Jack Duluos is Jack Kerouac's fictional alter ego, appearing in Vanity of Duluos, Kerouac's last published novel, among others. He is an older, more cynical version of the earlier Sal Paradise character of On the Road, his groundbreaking beatnik novel. Though he may no longer have the wide-eyed lust for life as his younger self, he is nonetheless still feverishly alive and burning with the desire to never yawn. Jack Ryan is Tom Clancy's daring-do protagonist in his hugely popular novels, first featured in The Hunt for Red October, which was also a very successful movie. He is a kind of Superman, being a Marine, a pilot, a stockbroker, a CPA, a professor of history, and a CIA agent at one time or another, all the while managing to marry and father 4 children and fight international terrorists, spies, drug cartels, etc. A kind of everyman for the boy child, Jack Ryan embodies the ultimate in cool behavior under extreme pressures. Jack Tanner is the hero of George Bernard Shaw's 1903 play Man and Superman, a revolutionary who stands in contrast to all that conventional British society of the time revered, including the institution of marriage. The play explores both the philosophical aspects of such institutions as well as their comedic side effects, and loquacious Jack, the self-confirmed bachelor, finally falls victim to the forceful and wedding schemes. Ernest is the protagonist of Oscar Wilde's Comedy of Manners, The Importance of Being Earnest, a trivial comedy for serious people, which was first performed in London in 1895, and probably remains his most popular play. John, Jack, Worthing maintains an alter ego in London in the persona of Ernest, his make-believe younger brother, whose foibles he is constantly called upon to remedy. In the country, he is known as a sober and conservative gentleman, whereas in the disguise of Ernest in London, he is able to follow a rather libertine lifestyle. As Ernest, he proposes to Gwendolen, who accepts him, mainly based upon the fact that his name is Ernest. She has stated that she must marry a man named Ernest. Of course, Lady Bracknell, Gwendolen's harridan of a mother, does not approve of the match. However, as Mr. Worthington, whatever his true name, was a foundling. Many plot twists and identity switches later, it is discovered that Worthington is in fact a relative of Lady Bracknell, having been lost in a train station as an infant by his nursemaid. This suddenly makes him suitable as a suitor for Gwendolen. That young lady, however, does not want to marry him now, because his name is not Ernest, but Jack. Of course. But not to worry, army records of Jack's father are examined and prove him to have been one Ernest Moncrief, for whom, as firstborn, Jack would have been named. So he is Ernest, after all, and that is important, because otherwise, Gwendolen wouldn't have married him. So now you know the importance of being earnest. Jack Pumpkinhead is a delightful character in the L. Frank Baum beloved series of books, continued after Baum's death by other writers. He is a colorfully dressed, tall and lanky figure made from tree limbs, with a huge pumpkin for a head. Jack has to grow replacement heads in his garden because, of course, the pumpkins keep aging and rotting. Jack has marvelous adventures with the other characters who people Oz, and in spite of his limited intelligence, somehow always manages to save the day. Popular songs on Jack. A song by The Who, Lily, Rosemary and the Jack of Hearts, Black Jack Fletcher and Mississippi Sam, Black Jack Blues, Big Jack, a song by Johnny Cash, a song by Billy Joel, Jack Straw, a song by The Grateful Dead, Hit the Road Jack, by Joan Baez, a song by Stuart Marty, From a Jack to a King, a song by AC/DC, a song by John Mellencamp, a song by Elvis Presley, Boss Jack, Jumping Jack Flash, The Jack, Happy Jack, Jack and Diane, Me and Hank and Jumpin' Jack Flash, a song by Fleetwood Mac, a song by Steppenwolf, Captain Jack. A song by Ray Charles, Get Up Jack, Fat Jack, a song by Joan Osborne, a song by the Rolling Stones, a song by Montgomery Gentry. Famous people named Jack. Jasper Newton, Jack Daniel, whiskey maker, Jack Johnson, musician, Jack White, musician, Jack Lord, actor, Jack Johnson, boxer, Jack Black, actor, Jack Kerouac, author, Jack Palance, actor, Jack Warner, film executive, Jack Benny, entertainer, Jack Dempsey, boxer, Jack Nicklaus, golfer, Jack Welch, businessman, Jack Wagner, actor, Jack Nicholson, actor, Jack London, author, Jack Russell, musician, Jack Cassidy, actor, Jack Lemmon, actor, Jack Carpenter, actor, J.P. Jack Morgan, Jr. Businessman, John F. Jack Kennedy, U.S. President, Jack Kevorkian, pathologist, Jack Bruce, guitarist, Jack Scalia, actor, Jack Cassidy, guitarist. Children of famous people named Jack. Kristen Cavallari.